I see him.
I don't see him yet.
He's
Oh,
here.
hello, Vincent. Hello.
Oh, I hear him now.
Hey, how you doing? Jam. This is
Ido.
why we rise. This guy actually can get us to rise.
Or pick us up after we fall down. One or
That's
the
what I
other.
was going to say. Ido, JM and I hit the canvas more than Tyson's sparring partners. We are always falling. I have my reasons. He's gonna just take a shine to you because we both keep falling. I'll tell you about mine, but we're talking about Parkinson's. Really thrilled to have you here. We're going to be nothing but nice to you because you're also a martial artist and you can kick our butts. So
No,
we're
wait a
going to be
minute.
very polite.
Wait a minute. Hang on. This I have a question for.
Please.
He is a martial artist therapist. So what does that mean? Does that mean that they go to you and they talk about somebody's butt they just kicked and how guilty they feel?
Kind of. But if you come to think about, people are killing each other since Cain and Abel. So people are always trying to find better ways to kill each other. So you have the best practices that mankind can make or can produce. They are always guided into martial arts. You see now, the atomic bomb, you can have an atomic bomb and you can have a nuclear plant for electricity. So it's the same same practices you can use to any kind of thing you need to do. So I'm using techniques from many martial arts to do better for people. And it can be, in our case, to prevent fall, or if you do fall, how to land safely. So this is the case. And if you suffer from Parkinson, so how do you position yourself in order to be more stable? Because people are trying to hit each other and throw them on the floor all the time. So you have practices on how to keep your balance. You have practices on how to be more stable. So it is there, and there are many. If your structure is right, so you will be stable. You don't really need to work on your muscles as long as you know how to position your skeleton in space. So, or how to root yourself into the ground. So there are practices for it.
Well, there you go, Vinny. Before we jump in, I mean, this is a topic near and dear to me, and near and dear to Vinny as well.
Me too. I'm taking notes.
Exactly.
It's recorded.
Of late,
right? I can just continue to watch it.
Yeah,
why
exactly.
am I taking notes?
Of late, within the last 6 to 8 months, I have fallen considerably more frequently. And I did have to go into the hospital because I fell, and again, like the firefighters, the paramedics, when they came, I ended up hitting the side of my head but more doing I thought I broke my wrist. I thought my pinky was like 90 degrees. So, but I remember getting out of the car. My wife was on the other side. We were under a carport, and I was walking along the passenger side door, to the back of the thing. And all of a sudden, I started to shuffle. And that Parkinson's shuffle, I've seen only really on Parkinson's people, not to say that it's exclusive. But then what happens is I had 3 things in my hand. So I had something draped over, something I'm holding, and then I just start going. And I think because I'm naturally bent over a little bit to begin with, that my momentum and weight took me down, and I went like a rocket. I mean, I was like running when I hit the ground, and I just smashed my face. My glasses went one way, and the guy said, "Did you trip?" I'm like, "No." I go, "Do you know anything about Parkinson's?" He's like, "A little bit." And I said, "If you know what the shuffle looks like, it's like once we get going, we're looking for a wall or a chair or a person to brace us because we can't stop." And
you hold on to the things you had in your hand, right?
Well, I went like what I noticed, and this happens. First of all, I now have this. And this is a nice walking stick that my boss, who's an incredible man, guardian angel, bought for me. And I'm learning. I took it to my physical therapist, and she's showing me how to walk with it. but and she's trying to teach me a little bit more about, and we'll get into what your training does and how people can access your training. But the real amazing thing is that at a certain point, and I don't know if Parkinson's patients have shared this with you, it sort of slows down in your mind, but you're going and you know you're going to crash. And it seems like my hands start to go like this, like I'm flailing, but I didn't let go of any one of the three things. I almost like couldn't let go until I made impact. But when I made impact, it felt like my body completely seized up. Like, you're a running back with a football and you see this linebacker coming at you and you know you're going to get crushed. So you just get as small as you can get. And that's what I felt. So it's like everything that, like, I've taken some boxing classes and I've taken some training in falls, is it always seems like you're close to the ground. I'm falling when I'm straight up and I'm just going whoosh. So that's a long diatribe about my situation, but how do you approach specifically Parkinson's people? And then we can talk about everybody else.
Well, it started with your dad taking a fall, right? You don't mind me asking, and you said it was serious, but I don't know the details. If you don't want to talk about it, I don't
Well,
want.
my
No,
dad's in a weird
no,
situation because when I was
Jam,
what?
his dad.
Oh, his dad.
I realize it's your podcast, but
Thank you.
we have a
And I
guest.
got to bring it. Hey, listen, guys, I got to bring it around about me. It's all about me. You know what I mean? It's like he's a good looking guy. He doesn't need anything more than that. I got to talk about me. Now go ahead. Sorry, boys.
I was my profession, my academic profession. I have 2 degrees in engineering. One is chemical engineering, and the other one is material engineering. And I started martial art therapy. I was already in martial art since I've been 16. But I picked up martial art therapy because of my son who was diagnosed with ADHD, and I saw that when I'm fighting with him or when he fights me, it really comes down and we can have family dinner. Otherwise, it was complete chaos and mayhem. So, this is why I picked up martial arts and martial art therapy, not martial arts. And then 11 years ago, when my father was 75 years old, he fell, and it was shocking for me to see how my father is taller than myself, and is very capable, very optimistic, incredible man. And it took only one fall for him to start thinking about what would happen in the next fall. And he's an MD, so he knows the statistics. And I asked him because I saw a very steep fall in his psychology, and he didn't act well, and he started to think if it's worth leaving the house for this activity or not. With the threshold is it safe enough for him not to fall to go there, or if it's important enough to leave the house. And this was a thought that never occurred to me that my father could think or could judge an activity. So I asked him, what's going on? And he told me something amazing. He said, I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of being dependent on somebody else, dependent on your mom, dependent on you, dependent on your brothers and sisters. So it was really a real shock. And I started thinking, what can I do to help my father? So one of the martial arts that I practice is Tai Chi, which is a martial art. Basically, it's a martial art, but a lot of it was taken from the martials. And I started teaching him Tai Chi. And 2 things happened. One is after each practice, I taught both my parents, and afterwards I opened other groups. And at the end of each session, they asked me, it's all nice, but what would happen when I fall? Because Tai Chi is for prevention. So it's nice, but I know I will fall eventually. What will happen then? And another thing that happened with Tai Chi is that it takes too long to observe the real principles that guard you. So I did two things. One, it took me a while to understand how to hack the principles of Tai Chi and some other martial arts in order to have much better, much robust technique for fall prevention. And the other thing that I understood, I need to develop a technique to teach any person at any age how to fall. Till today, the oldest person I taught was 96 years old. He fell, nothing happened to him, but very sadly, the COVID took him. He died during the COVID. He got it and he couldn't recover. But he fell and nothing happened to him. And he called me up and he said, I'm calling you, even though I know you'll use it for your marketing, just to tell you that I fell and nothing happened. And I need to tell you because only you will understand how important it is. So we had many, many things. And this is how we turned out.
That's great. That is really 95 years old. That's great.
96 he was. 96.
Jim, go ahead. I mean,
Well, I
and why
mean,
I fall. We know why JM falls.
just I mean, so many things come to mind. I mean, it's amazing to listen to you speak because it's like I want to know why. I mean, I was athletic. I mean, I wasn't an athlete, so I mean, I played, while other people were running the Ironman triathlon, I was doing the Tin Man, beer, baseball, and burgers. But what I did do is I played a lot of softball, baseball as much as I could, and I never really ran, but I went out for walks. So I wouldn't consider myself, an Ironman, but I also wouldn't consider myself a couch potato to the sense that I was overweight or just like very lethargic. But I never felt. In fact, one of the things that was what I was good at was agility and the ability to move in between things. And I used to be the guy when we would go to rock concerts in the Bay Area, they'd be general admission. And they called me the Weasels because I would weasel through the line of people that had been waiting all day to try to get to the front of the line. So when they opened it, I could bolt in there and go right to the section that we always knew we wanted to go sit at, which was on the side of the lead guitarist and, blah, blah, blah. And I mean, I could do the agility was ridiculous. And now I'm just standing here and all of a sudden I go, whoa, it's like my balance, just like somebody pushed me. And that's the part that I can't get past. It's like, okay, my wife is like, you need to go and we need to walk and you need to do this and you need to stop when you start shuffling and you need to just reset. And then the therapist is like, you got to walk with the cane or the stick or whatever and opposites. So you're going right, left, and you're moving down the way. But it seems like this thing with Parkinson's, it doesn't really, there's no pattern. There's no like guarantee you're going to fall, but you're going to fall. And to where your dad's point was about not wanting to go out, I've become the thing I've become the most with Parkinson's is the trepidation. I'll give you an example of one that's staring me right in the face and why this interview couldn't have been timed better.
Absolutely.
My daughter, 26-year-old daughter, Claire, is getting married February 21st. Her only request was, will you walk me down the aisle? And I have been thinking they got engaged in, I think, May or June or July of last year. I'm like, I mean, I'm so in my head. I'm like, how do I am I just going to, excuse my language, am I just going to, heel toe it all the way down, looking down at my feet like I'm counting rather than noticing everything that's going on? Am I going to be able to hold her? Is she going to feel like she's got to hold me? So it's like all this stuff is barreling down. And I'm like I said to my physical therapist, whatever you can do to keep my balance up, do it. Because if I have to go double sessions a week, which I'm doing right now, I don't want to fall down. And I'm not going to fall down, but that trepidation, that thought of what happens if you crack your head. Like I literally have looked around and said, well, if I go down, there's a lot of grass over here. I mean, one time in the house, I had 2 glasses. I'm not allowed to carry this anymore. I had 2 glasses of red wine, and my wife was in the back of by the bathroom, and I mean, by the closet there in the hallway, and she was getting something, and I just was walking. And all of a sudden, I started to feel my feet shuffling, and I literally threw because it was either going to land in my hands or, and I threw two red wine glasses halfway full, smash against the wall. And she just looked at me. She goes, "Oh, go sit down," like a child. But it's, I mean, there's a whole psychology to it. There's not only psychology, there's a whole medical thing as to what's shutting off in the brain, but I mean, to have the thought moments before and then feel that sensation of when you get close to going, like I've kind of come to the precipice and then been able to pull myself back earlier on. Now my biggest struggle is in the house. I'm navigating furniture, pet, the kitchen. I mean, it's just amazing how I'll start shuffling for no apparent reason at all. And that's the part that is hard to come by and understand and be at peace with, which is the fact that you have no control. I mean, we have no control over anything, period, but this is almost like ridiculous.
Yeah, but it sounds like Ido's developing that control.
Exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So I've been listening to a few of your podcasts, and I was very impressed by a lot of things that you said. And a lot of it is about being mindful to what you do every day, because you are going through a complete change in your physics, and you have to adapt to the new physique every day, and you have to grow different habits, different motion habits for you to keep as much as possible as many as possible capabilities that you used to have, which are keep changing. And I will say one thing and then I'll ask you a question. And there is the basics of the martial art therapy is how to do something in order to achieve to achieve the benefits, and the route doesn't matter, only the end goal. And you can do it in many kind of I'd say of movements, as long as you get to the results that you want. And I think when I listen to you, I think the best thing I can do for both of you, but mainly for you, JM, is to do a small demonstration, if it's okay with you.
Sure.
Yes, absolutely.
So I'll just I'll position the camera or the laptop and see how it works the best.
I love this. This is great.
Let me see. Okay, I think we have enough room.
Oh wow.
So, the head is
your
cut,
head's a little cut off.
the head is not as important as the rest of the body. But because
I would sometimes disagree with that, but I hear what you're saying.
But I need to see the posture. Okay. What happens? It's not only Parkinson, but as we go older, our spine is getting curved forward. Once that happens, instead of having the body stick from the head along the spine in between our heels, what happens that our balance is shifted towards our toes. Once the balance is shifted towards our toes, there is no good way to walk but to shuffle.
Right.
And it happens without us noticing it, just because the balance is shifting on our feet from the heels or the ankles to the toes. And once that happens, we have no control of our walking, and what really we are doing, we are falling and stepping. We're not really walking.
Exactly.
So what we need to do is to change the habit. And this is the most important thing. I'll show you. Okay. What we want to do is we want to have better feeling and better awareness of our pelvis. Our pelvis usually is curved, and when a person is standing this way, usually is handsome and is putting his shoulders back, and it looks very stable. But what happens is actually you have a lot of tension in your lower back and in your knees, and you're not very balanced because the pelvis is again shifting the weight to the toes. So what we want to do is to position the pelvis on our heels and then relax it.
Okay.
It took me about 10 years of Tai Chi training to understand how to relax the pelvis. And then it took me another few good years in order to understand how to teach it in, I'd say, 2 minutes. So if it's okay with you, I will show you how to relax your pelvis. And what it means is that when I'm walking here, I hope you can see it, my tailbone is, as we walk, as we stand, our tailbone is directed a bit or more to the back. And what we want to do is relax the pelvis so the tailbone is positioned in the direction of the ground, in between the heels. And once we have it, we get much better balance. So if it's okay with you, I'll show you how it's done in 2 seconds. Or not 2 seconds, 2 minutes.
Please.
Okay. Take all the time you need.
Yeah, really, this is awesome.
This is for you today, and so we've got the time.
And all our viewers
Okay.
have this now. They can rewind it and do it again. Thank you.
Yeah. Lovely. So,
Well, he's also got a whole
I
website
really
we can
stop
talk
here.
about,
I
Vinny, that he
didn't
can
plan
show
it,
a lot
but
of
once.
these.
Okay. So what happens is I started teaching it while sitting down, because when you are sitting down, you are not occupied with your balance. So what I would like you to do, and then you'll tell me how you feel. But first, I'll explain it. If you can sit and do not lie on the backrest, just sit down and pay attention to the surface, or how much of your butt, how much of your pelvis is touching the seat. Just relax and pay attention to it, and examine your position. And now what I would like you to do is to lean forward and curve your back backwards, or you curve your shoulders backwards. What it does is you have the curvature of your spine, and then I would like you to spread your butt backwards. And when you are curving your butt backwards on the seat, make sure that you are not bending forward. It means that your head you need to feel as if your head is being pulled upwards.
Are your hands always on your knees?
It doesn't matter. I do it on your knees because I want you to watch the pelvis, and I don't want to hide my pelvis. Sorry?
Your feet are flat on the floor, though. Your feet.
The feet is on the floor, yeah. And what we do is we lean forward and curve our back, and then spread our butt as much as possible on the seat. And then we curve our back and spread the butt. And if you do it in your own rhythm, the rhythm that it's good for you,
this is great.
You'll feel a very nice exercise for your lower spine.
Are you guys on non-cloth material chairs?
Sorry?
Are you guys on wooden chairs, or do you have material like cloth? Reason being is I can't slide my butt. I'm not sliding my butt because it's well. First of all, I'm stuck in the middle of dyskinesia right now, and especially in my legs. But I'm trying to slide back, and by keeping it on my knees, it just doesn't slide. The chair goes before I go.
So it's better without a chair with wheels. And it's
No, it's better
better
with a
with
chair that's I mean for me I would, and I don't have one handy, but we'll figure it out. Almost every
yeah,
chair I have in here, if not every chair, has cloth covering. So I'm wearing sweatpants and they're just like Velcro catching, as opposed to sliding like I would if I had like a nice like plastic or. So
yeah.
I'm going to watch it, but I'm going to say that that's kind of what's stopping me. But another question I had for you is,
Jam.
let's say that again, Vin.
Go sit on the toilet. I'm kidding.
That's great, Vin, because
Uh,
now I'll go do that. But it'll take me 15 minutes to get over there. But Ido, do you? I used to do a thing when we were training with a personal trainer who was advanced to somewhat degree, understood martial arts. You used to do a thing called a prone cobra, and you'd throw your hands back behind your chest, bringing your chest up, and you would just completely try to curl your hands, and in doing so, you're curling your shoulders back, and it feels really good. And what I see you doing is exactly something that's what I'm missing. I know in my body I'm curved like this when I walk. I mean, I had somebody say to me 10, 15, 12, 13 years ago, I've been diagnosed for 13 years, so it probably has to be like right before, right after I was diagnosed. And he goes, "You doing all right?" And I said, "Yeah, why?" And he goes, "Well, you hunched over. It seemed like, did you hurt your back?" And that's the first time anybody ever has said anything to me about my back. And I said, "Yeah, my lower back hurts a little bit." And then I must have been diagnosed because I played it off as it didn't really matter. But I've seen that experience, and you never know how far back it goes with Parkinson's. But the idea of not stretching your body is one of the things that I fall into the category of almost like nil. Like I'll go and walk, but I won't stretch before I walk. I won't give myself any reduce. I could have been sitting on my ergonomic chair working on the computer all day, and then I just go for a walk. So there's no way of warming up or relaxing. So what are your thoughts on those types of exercises? And tell people how they can get to your website.
Hey, go, the business is called Your Fall Control. So all you need to do is click yourfallcontrol.com and you're on my site. And the first thing you'll see there is to register for my masterclass for a lecture that I'm giving about once in a while. So you can register and see. And then I explain in the lecture, in the presentation, everything. And immediately as you register, you'll get an email from me, and then you can email and text and get anything you want, any question you have, everything. So you don't need to write anything, but your full control and register, and then you're in.
Awesome.
And you'll get I always read any reply that I get from any email. I always read. I always respond. So any question there is, just go ahead. And I wanted to, I, JM, I feel your pain, and I want to give you something. Maybe it would help. Is There's a nice story about it. There's a lovely lady in the Parkinson's Association here that I trained, and she told me, "You do not believe I used to." Every room I used to enter, everybody would look at me, what a lovely posture I used to have. And they said, "See what the posture of a dancer. Such a nice posture." And she was mourning the body that she has today, which is the body that is curved, and also she was drifting her legs, her feet. And I told her, first of all, feel like a dancer, which means when you sit down, don't allow your body to curve forward. Think of yourself as the dancer, as your head is being pulled up. And if you close your eyes and imagine that your head is being pulled upwards, being pulled upwards and upwards, very soon you'll feel that your shoulders are being relaxed. and you see that your shoulder blades are relaxed and that your neck is being elongated and is relaxed. And once you have this feeling, you can put your awareness on your spine and see that it elongated a little bit, which means that if you are aware of your head that is being pulled upwards and the chin has to be parallel to the ground, don't lift your chin. It has to be parallel to the ground. Otherwise, what happens when you lift your chin, you get a lot of tension on your neck. So you have to have your chin parallel to the ground. Your head is being pulled upwards. And immediately things are different. You can breathe different because when you are curved, you have a lot of tension on all of your chest. And now you can breathe better. So the first exercise is the one that I just gave you. The second one is the one I gave on the chair. And if you put the two together, you can feel stable on any chair that you are sitting on. And even with Parkinson, and even when you are not in your best fitness, it's still much easier to stay aligned and to stay straight. Does it make sense, JM?
It makes perfect sense.
So what you need to do is be aware whenever you feel tension, whenever you feel that you are bended. Close your eyes, breathe, and allow your head to be pulled upwards. And the next thing is allow your pelvis to really sink into the chair, into the seat. And it would be very nice if you can feel all of your pelvis connected to the seat. And then you can be more stable. And when you work, whatever you do, when you sit for eating, it's a good place to remind yourself before you start an action, just be aware of your head that is being pulled up and of your butt that is spread all over the seat.
Okay. How much
Yeah.
of what you teach is teaching people like to be calm or to like breathing? Because I know that I feel like a lot of times when you say like release your pelvis, I can feel the tension in my legs, my thighs, my knees, my ankles starting to let go, and they're sort of like, and then what ends up happening is in that moment, that moment of like, wow, I feel really relaxed, I feel good. All of a sudden, snap. In my world, it just bounces back. And again, you can do that over and over and over again. There's no limitation to how many you're allowed to do to get yourself feeling better. But I always have struggled with that. I mean, I'm a big proponent of telling people, focus on the things you can do rather than the things you can't, because if you can't do it, it's not going to bring you any fruit anyway. So let the one that can bear fruit, and let go of the other one. But man, I mean, just as to be practicing what you preach, it's so hard sometimes when I do that. I'm like, oh, I see that. And then I get this, all of a sudden I'll go back down to this kind of person, and I'm like, I'm pissed off. I'm mad at my body again. And it's just like, so do you encourage on your website for people to learn breathing techniques and to calm themselves as best they can?
In my courses, there are two courses. One is for prevention, and the other one is the safe landing part. It so happened that I started the safe landing part or the safe landing course first. And in the safe landing part, there's a whole chapter about the progressive muscle relaxation, PMR, which is you are squeezing the muscles, you are tensing the muscles, and then you relax them. And there is a very simple technique. You start from either with the head to your toes or from the toes till your face and the tip of your head. And it's awareness of you are pressing the muscles and then relax them immediately, and you feel the relaxation, and then your body is relaxed. Why do I do it? It's a very important part of my teaching because it's also called the Jacobson technique, which was invented about 100 years ago. And every experiment, every study that was done on this technique proved that it is beneficial. It is beneficial for anxiety, for depression, for so many things. And I use it because once your body is relaxed, I can teach you how to land safely much better and without tension, because tension really reduces your ability to react, your ability to handle your body. And when people are taking both courses, also I tell them go first to the safe landing in order to practice the technique, and it will be a great improvement to your daily life. And you'll be able to relax your body better. I don't know about any study with the Jacobson technique or the PMR on Parkinson. I need to check. I haven't checked, but I need to check about it. But for it's really amazing. It's very nice. It gives a very calm sensation, and it's much better to do it when you are lying down. You can do it while sitting, but when you are lying down, you can get to a much better relaxation.
Yeah, I've done that experience, and I can vouch that as an amazing experience. When
Yeah.
you're calm from your head to your toes, and you just
Yeah.
become very heavy, but you're not like burdened heavy. You're just kind of like relaxed, and
Exactly.
it's a great feeling. That's another feeling that people can give themselves without a lot of training.
Can
Exactly.
we get into the safe landing yet, or
Ask me again, please, Vincent.
the safe landing?
Yeah.
Can we get into a little of that? I mean,
Sure.
I'm
I'll
sorry.
give you another demonstration, okay? Because then you immediately you'll understand.
Okay.
You'll get check. Oh. I should have done it in my studio, but okay. What happens usually? I'll go with the front fall first, the forward fall, because the side fall and the back fall, or the fall forward is the most easy to learn, and it's much easier to understand. When we are walking and we get stuck on something, what happens is we are stuck in our feet, but our body and the shoulders and the head keep moving forward. What happens immediately, usually, is that the hands are being reached forward. When that happens, this will be much better. Okay. So the hands are, you reach your hand with your hand forward. And what happens is three things, none of them is good. The first thing, when you spread your hands forward, you are locking your back. So you cannot bend forward, or you cannot bend down. And the second thing is that when your hands are stretched forward, what is guarding your head?
Yeah, nothing. Your face.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
nothing is guarding your head. And the third thing is that you are moving your center of gravity from being on top of your heels to somewhere over here.
Oh no.
And what it does, it gives extra energy for the fall, and then the fall becomes very aggressive. And if you can, I'll do it again, and you'll see that the fall is being curved. Okay? And it's curved forward, and then it comes with a lot of energy. So what we want to concave the form. And then what we do, first of all, our hand is always guarding our head, which means that it's always downwards. Second thing is that we are bending our knees. Third thing is we are placing our hands next to our feet. And the last thing, the fourth stage, is that we are not resisting. We allow our body to spread.
Ah.
And then what happens, if I do it in a one flowing motion, it is a very soft landing.
Gotcha.
And do you turn on one shoulder, or do you take the brunt of it on your shoulder blade? Where do you take the hit if you're coming down and you're starting to fall forward and you start to lean to one side or the other? Like some people all favor the right side, or some people favor the left side. What are your thoughts on that?
So this is we always start with the forward fall because it's the least frightening fall and it is more natural. And once we learn the forward fall, we start practicing on the side fall. And the side fall is what you just mentioned. And once you practice enough with the side fall, you already know how to do the back fall naturally. And the difference between the side fall and the back fall is that you are less frightened. So you can relax your body and do it softly.
Yeah, because I notice all kinds of fear elements are coming, as we're talking about falling in a different, in an entirely different setting with the three of us as it would be like with my wife or somebody who has no concept of Parkinson's and falling or whatever. And they go, oh, I'm sorry to hear that, and I appreciate all their love, but it's sort of like
Jeremy's freezing up here.
I'm freezing up.
There you go.
My
You're
camera or me personally, did I just freeze it? I didn't notice it. But anyway, I noticed also, Ido, that my breathing, I just go, not only does my muscles tense up like that, I'm gonna, protect, but it all of a sudden it goes, and so I'm really like a ball of energy that's not allowed to get out. And so therefore my hitting the ground is like boom, as opposed to, this calculated. I've done what you did once before, unbeknownst to me, down in Santa Monica when I was first, like my first or second year being diagnosed, and I was running all the phobias, it was shuffling and falling. And I had on flip flops and I was walking to the beach down there by the Santa Monica Pier. No, excuse me, by the Malibu Pier. And my sandal got stuck under some uneven pavement. So naturally my leg just stopped and everything went forward. And when I went forward, I didn't know this, but I literally flipped and landed myself on my shoulder, kind of like, and my sister-in-law was behind me. She goes, "Did you do that on purpose?" And I'm like, "What do you mean?" She goes, how'd you learn how to do that flip?" And I'm like, my sandal's back there. I'm down here. There's nothing to do with my sandal got caught, and that was that. And I think I even broke out of the leather strap on the sandal. But the point is that I've gone from that to which was almost like knowing how to fall. Not that I was ever professionally trained to fall, but as a kid and growing up and playing football and all this kind of contact sports, you learned how to fall. Or you, when you're running around the neighborhood, you fell and you got right back up and you look to see if you're bleeding. And you're like, oh, I'm good. Scrape off my knees. Let's go. But now, as like what you talked about your dad, and it's so important to hear the story of your father because that's real. It's not like we're talking about some ethereal fall. That's a guy who was in control of his life, was a doctor, understood all the things, and all of a sudden one day, probably not even thinking about it, he gets blindsided by it, and he's like, now all of a sudden I don't know what I can do. And that fear is horrible. But the idea when you say there's no fear in falling, how I gotta practice these techniques just to get rid of the fear, because the fear is so powerful in anything anybody does. I mean, Vin can talk to that. We can all talk to that. But the idea of fear, and with Parkinson's, when you don't know when the stuff is coming. I mean, Michael J. Fox has many great quotes, but one of them is he said, "It feels like you're stuck. Your feet are cemented in the middle of the road, and you know a bus is coming, but you don't know when. And so you just sit there and you wait, and that fear and that anxiety and that lack of freedom in your mind takes care of the rest of this, just shuts you down."
There are There are a few things. First of all, about my father, since 11 years ago, my father had fallen 9 times. Nothing happened to him.
That's
This is
awesome.
one thing.
Great.
And he keeps practicing. Today he's 86. He's still practicing his profession twice a week.
Great.
That's
And
brilliant.
he told me that each time he fell, it gave him more confidence because he could rely on his body, that the body can do what it needs to do in order not to get hurt. So, and then with Parkinson, it's different. And I have no idea how it feels. Lucky me. So I can relate to what I can help with, and that's it. I don't have more magic in my sleeves. But Parkinson progresses. So at the first stages, it might be that I can help better than in the more progressive stages.
Right.
And from my experience in the more progressive stages, it is mostly the fall prevention that I gave you the first 2 steps of the fall prevention. And people come to me beforehand, before they get progressed with the disease. I can teach them how to fall safely, and there's never any guarantee if it's going to work or not. But once, if you do not, I just remember just the presentation I gave you. I showed you how to fall safely, and I showed you the 4 steps. Most people have no idea about the 4 steps, so their brain cannot bring up 4 steps because they're not existing. Once you know there are 4 steps, you have something to follow.
Correct. You have something to
And
fall back
then
on. Did you get that
and
joke
then
there?
when a fall happens, there is some chance between 0 to 100. There is some chance that your brain will remember it and will follow it. And the more you practice, of course, it's getting more into your habits, into your instincts. And of course, it depends on your condition. If you're not, usually I'd say the divider, if you can walk on your own without a walking pole, or without, of course, without a rollator, then I can help you and teach you how to fall safely. If not, so we're doing only the fall prevention.
Right.
I really want to say something here, and I usually don't speak out like this. This is so helpful. I have some spinal issues, and I'm just looking out at our viewers, caregivers. Do what Ido just said. Head as if the ceiling's pulling you up, and you'll stretch your neck and it'll relax. Then concave. Is that right? Concave your
No,
spine.
don't concave. No, the other way around. You don't concave. What you do, because if you concave, there's tension. You don't want tension.
Right.
So your head is being pulled upward, and you allow your pelvis
They
to, to
right.
spread all over the seat.
Got it. Yeah. And if you
And then your spine, if you do it with me now, you'll I hope you are feeling that your spine is one long pole.
exactly, and we carry a lot of our tension, caregivers, in our spines, and
Yes,
and
yes.
you're giving us a way to release that. I really wanted to say that. People, please rewind, do what he's telling you.
Well, Vinny, do me a favor while you're talking about this. Tell everybody what the website is and how that every Parkinson's patient and every Parkinson's caregiver should visit it, because it's there and it's information, and take for what like Ido said, it may work, it may not, but at least go and visit it, because you miss 100% of the shots you don't take.
That's right, and you can do this together, caregivers and Parkinson's people. It's your fall control, all one word .com. And Ido's there, and he can walk you through. And like he said, if you send him an email with your particulars, if you have a particular challenge, he'll answer your email. I mean, we have a gift here, everybody. I'm so happy that you came on. I mean, we've had some great guests, but it was great to have demonstrations today. I mean, thank you so much for doing that. Yeah, it's yourfallcontrol.com.
Yeah, and I
Thank
also
you.
think
Thank
that
you
what's
so much.
amazing. Oh, sorry, Ido, didn't mean to jump on you, but what's amazing is, we'll see Ido again, but we want you to feel that you can see Ido every day by going to his website and learning a new maneuver. It might take us a month before we see him again. Could be 2 weeks, could be a year. But the point is, we love him because of what he's doing for the Parkinson's community as well as the elderly. I don't like to use that word. Let's call them older folks. I mean, it's just keep active. I mean, we don't need to get into this, but both my parents are 86, my dad, 84, my mom. He's had a stroke, so he's amazing physically. He can walk forever, but yet he can't really put a sentence together. It's all jumbled. My mother, on the other hand, is got all of her faculties, but she can't walk now. And I'm convinced that she told herself she can't walk, and now she can't walk. So, it's going to be like the walking wounded coming to this wedding, coming up at the end of the month. But it's knowledge like this, even that I can say to my father, go to this website, get
Absolutely.
mom to watch this. Well, I might have to say that to my mom because he may not understand. But the idea, when he was first shuffling, I noticed that I thought he had Parkinson's. He showed me, Ido, that he had at least 5 of the 10 major markers of Parkinson's: diminished handwriting, shuffling, kind of softer voice, cognitive, brain fog, or whatever they call it. But one day we were walking in the park, and I just said, "When did you learn how to step like that?" This is a guy who used to run like miles. I mean, when he was a younger man around the neighborhood and stuff. And he said, "I don't know." I said, "Well, just do this. Forget about everything that's going on in your brain. Don't think about another thing, and just think heel toe, but try to stretch your heel out." And I left him be. And then about a week later, he personally called me on the phone. He's like, "That really worked at heel toe." And I thought, that's like I mean, that's the most basic thing. When you watch that Christmas Carol, the Santa Claus, when they put one foot in front of the other, as soon you'll be walking across the floor. It's a reality. I mean, it's all the messages are there. It takes Ido, something like this, to put it together for us and show us how it's done. So
Exactly.
take advantage of him because he's amazing at what he can show you. And he's obviously very patient because he's dealt with me today. Any follow-ups, Vin? Anything we want to do before we let the man loose?
Just want to say what you're doing is really God's work. I'm so happy. I feel better at the little exercises because, like I said, they're still taking MRIs. They're not sure what my spine is, but I do end up collapsing. So thank you for the protecting my head. I mean, but the exercise alone and the Tai Chi, I know this isn't it's related to Tai Chi, but I guess the Tai Chi walk that they're recommending for men over 50. I don't know if you can shed any light on that before we close, but I'm not really sure what that is. But maybe that's a paying seminar. I don't know.
I have no idea what it is. I
Okay.
watched it. I've I I've been practicing Tai Chi uh, since 95,
Wow.
1995, and I'm instructor for a few decades. And uh, I see around me people with their body, usually people who train with Tai Chi, either they are very, very slim because of their diet, or they have a nice belly because they're not doing anything but Tai Chi. So it's hard for me to believe in the Tai Chi walk. I think they're doing something different than Tai Chi or something alongside Tai Chi, and I have no idea what it is.
That's okay because what you're doing is awesome, and I'm so glad people can access you, and I wanna do a shout out to Russell. Russell's the one who finds our guests, and he found a diamond in you, my friend. I'm so glad you're here.
Thank you so much.
I'm very touched by what you do, and Parkinson's Wellness Foundation. They this is what they do. They find people like Ido who's going to help you, And we hope this was helpful today. And where are you, by the way? Where am I speaking you? Where are you speaking to us from?
I'm in Israel now.
You
This is
are
where I
in
live. Yeah,
it.
I live in Israel, and the thing that gave me, I'd say, the approach for worldwide is the COVID, because I had to teach everything
Mm-hmm.
online.
Right.
Things that I never had imagined I can do it online. Now I know I can do it online. I can go
Yeah.
anywhere and help people all over. I wanted to tell both of you that prior to this meeting, I listened to quite a few of your old episodes. And it's amazing what you are doing and amazing what you are saying, because what you are talking about has relevance to everything. The thing that you say, that what determines your quality of life is your attitude. And it's
Yes.
something that is so important for anything,
Mm-hmm.
and it's so powerful. And you're talking about all of the how to relate to the sickness and to get a little bit better every day.
Yeah.
It's amazing. For I took some of it, and some of it I'm already teaching and practicing myself, and you gave me some more. So thank you very much. You are amazing. It's not
Well,
only for Parkinson, you are, because you are talking about any difficulty in life, actually.
right. And it'll be difficult for the three of us to be on the same screen together working out with you, but we're definitely going to see you again. We want to learn new stuff. We want to keep throwing those positive vibes out there. And JM, you
Yeah,
must
I was just gonna say to
be.
both of your points, um, Ido, we are here because you exist. In other words, we originally thought about doing a podcast where I could just sit here and bitch and moan for half an hour, 40 minutes, and go, oh, there you go. But that's not really positive. It's not bringing anybody anything, and it's clearly not bringing me anything at all, but negativity. So we decided that, through Russell's help, and he's amazing because he's got these connections to all these people that he knows about. His dad has been a person with Parkinson's for many years now. He's an amazing guy, Aubrey. But the Parkinson's Wellness Fund is a situation where they find him, we interview him, we're learning. So we're basically sitting in the front row, if you will, of the audience. And so we hope that these audiences realize that it doesn't cost you anything to go to Ido's website, to the best of my knowledge. There may be classes that you join, that's up to them and you, but to find out the information, don't be afraid of it. Just find it out and ask questions, because I too have seen the Tai Chi walking for men, and it seems pretty reasonable, but I'm going, how do they get a guy's belly down in 30 days? Because that's almost like, are you guys using Ozempic as part of your Tai Chi, or what's going on? But I think that it's folks like you that bring something because you care. And we most of the people that we have interviewed on our show, believe it or not, do not have Parkinson's. They are people that have come to Parkinson's through a loved one or a best friend or
Mm-hmm.
an acquaintance, or just out of pure passion for people. But we don't have like 10, 9 Parkinson's patients and then one expert and one person who can teach us something. And that can be somebody who's makes magnetic clothing or makes a laser shoe for walking. These are people that are trying to create something for the betterment of our lives daily. And what you just did in demonstration is gave Vinny some pleasure for his day. So I think that
Exactly.
we got to thank you, because you are the reason why we exist. All of you.
Thank you so much.
And we'll leave it
Thank
at
you.
that.
I hope we see you again soon.
Be
My
good,
pleasure.
brother.
With
Be safe
pleasure.
out there.
It's been
Please
wonderful.
safe.
Thank you. And I'm so helpful because it gave me a cause to see some of your episodes, and you're amazing. Thank you so much.
Thank
Thank
you.
you. Be
Like,
well.
when this one's going, when this one's online.
All right, boys. Be good.
All right.
Take care. God bless.
Bye bye. God bless.
Bye.